What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where you already know what it is. It's real and it's raw. Today, we got a guest on. You might have seen him on Jay Williams. You might have seen his show, and we'll definitely leave his links in there. But we got Woody on today, and I know everybody's waiting, man. Tell us about Jay Williams. Well, guess what? I think you're going to hear from Woody, and you may very well hear from Jay Williams himself, but I'm not going to do it on this platform, so if that's what you came for, I'm sorry to disappoint you. But we got some good stuff. We're going to get into some good stuff with Woody. Woody, tell the people who you are, talk about you and who you are as a person, and talk a little bit about your situation.
Well, my name Woody. Everybody knows that. So my situation is, I did 22 years in prison, and I just came home a few months ago. Almost been 9 months actually, and I'm ready to, start my new life. It's just starting. I'm able to do the things that I want. I'm able to, live life the way that I want to, and that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Let me ask you this, Woody. I want to talk a little bit about your crime and how it affected you, and what went on in your mind, and what prison was like where you were at, because I talk about a lot of prisons like Florida and Georgia and Alabama, and I tell these youngsters, this is not the place you want to be, and this is why. And we show some videos. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into what it's like for a white boy to be down there. Some people don't like me to use that word, or white dude, white boy, whatever, what it's like for them to be down there in prison. But let's talk a little bit about your crime and how that happened and what happened.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I was 23, I got into a situation dealing, I was down living in Miami, and I got involved with this guy over a money dispute. Things went south, and I ended up taking his life. And I ended up turning myself in and eventually got sentenced to 25 years in prison. So I started my sentence off in the state of Florida. So for the first 10 years, I was in Florida DOC doing my time. And like you said, where a white guy's in prison in Florida, it's not a joke. You're either, you got to make a name for yourself, or you're gonna be stomped on. And early on in my bid, that's what I did. I made a name for myself and earned my respect, the way it's supposed to be handled. And later on in my bid, I was okay.
Ask you this, right? I want to talk a little bit about the crime. You say you ended this dude's life. How did that happen? Did you shoot him? Did you choke him? What happened?
I beat him to death. And, I ended up, he ended up dying from asphyxiation. There was a bone in his neck that was broke.
You said it was over a money dispute. Let's talk about the money dispute, because, what I want to know what it's for and how it happened. What were you beefing about money? Was it drug related? What was it about?
Drug related, man. I ended up, catching a habit down there, but I'm also selling dope, so it was over a lot of money, so at the end of the day, it was a dispute about heroin. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I used to be a heroin addict. I used to shoot dope, and he owed me a bunch of money, and I caught up with him, and he gave me the runaround. We went back to his place, and ultimately I took his life. At the end of that, I took his car, I took everything I could, and come to find out, underneath of his seat, he had a 9mm pistol, and that right there could have ended my life if he pulled it out. But I took advantage of the situation, and I feel bad for what I done, but at the end of the day, I'm living life now. His family forgave me, God forgave me, and I forgave myself.
Was he a drug dealer? Was he a drug user?
Drug user.
He's a drug user. You two get in this little physical altercation, and he loses his life. Is he fighting back?
Yeah, he fought back. We fought for a long time. I mean, it wasn't just that I just murked him. We were fighting. We was going tooth and nail with each other. But I just took advantage of him. I hit him with a bottle, and I think that was it. Like, I took all the fight out of him.
Let me ask you what goes into that. Your mindset. You're in the middle. You're in the heat of battle. Is there a point where you're like, man, I better slow down, man, I better stop? Does that ever enter your mind?
I actually, and I'm going to be truthfully honest with you, I didn't even think about that. I thought to myself, as the situation's progressing and I seen the way he was, I thought that it would be better, if I just kept going, because I don't want him to tell him. You know what I mean? And that's the mindset. It's sad but true, but that's how I felt at that moment. I don't feel that way now. I wish I would have stopped, but I didn't.
Well, I'm asking you that because there's some young dudes out there, they're involved in the streets. There might be some guys that are out there drug addicted. You see it on First 48 all the time, right? Two drug addicts get into it and someone dies, right? So in the heat of the battle, man, you're not thinking about the consequences, right? You're thinking, man, I don't want him to tell on me. I done beat him up pretty bad, so I might as well, go ahead and kill this cat. Is that what you're thinking?
I I believe so. Yeah, it's been so long, but I believe that's the mindset that I was in at that moment.
No, I ask you that because this is reality, right? It's real, it's raw. That's what I say on this channel. That's the reality of it, man. That in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking about the consequences. But later on in life, you start to mature and you grow up and you realize, damn, man, I took someone's life. Damn, man, I didn't stop and think that, I could be getting 25 years. I could get a life sentence. You don't think about that. So really the message today is kind of trying to get people to think about these things before they go too far, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because once you get to that point, it's like, damn, man, I should have stopped, but I didn't. And once you keep going, it's like it was an adrenaline rush for me because I was scared all the whole time. But when I seen the situation, I panicked at the end, and it ultimately happened. And it's mind blowing at times because I think about this every day. I think about my victim every day, but now I think about it in a good way because not in a good way as like like I did what I did, but I think of it in a good way that I did wrong. I know I did wrong, and I'm over the guilt on myself. I'm over like what's the word I'm looking for? I'm over feeling sorry for myself, and I still pity his family. I still pray for his family and thank them for what they did for me personally. But at the end of the day, I wish I could take it back. I would definitely take everything back.
Did you know his family before this incident?
I met some of his family, but when I got these charges, I was facing the death penalty. I had a first-degree murder charge when I first went in, and as time went on, they're trying to seek the death penalty on me, and I didn't know, but his family was working behind the scenes, going to the prosecutor, telling them that they don't believe in the death penalty, that their loved one, was out in the streets. He wasn't doing right. So it's not like what's the word I'm saying? It's not like he was supposed to die or like they wished he would have died, but like they seen this something like this could have happened. So they went and spoke to the prosecutor for me, and they came and like, look, we're gonna drop your charge down to second-degree murder.
What's it like, man, to be a young man sitting in a county jail in Florida, right? And let's just what it is, young
Miami
man
Dade.
sitting in a county jail, and you're facing the death penalty, man. What is it like, bro? How does it hurt inside? Because some young dude, whether he's white, black, Hispanic, he needs to hear what it feels like to be like, damn, man, these people might kill me after I killed this other dude during a robbery.
It was definitely nerve-wracking. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I lost a lot of weight in jail. My family stressed. Like there went to a point in time where I didn't call my family for months. And, they would send messages to the jail, and the jail people would come, the counselors would come and be like, look, your family is so worried about you, you need to call them. I'm like, nah, I can't. I'm so nerve-wracked. I got put on medication to help me, with my panic attacks that I was having. It's like I was having nightmares, and it's rough because all you're thinking about now is like, damn, they're gonna put me to death. I'm gonna die now. And rightfully, maybe should I have deserved it? I'm not gonna say I probably didn't. I may have deserved that, but ultimately the creator is going to judge me, and I asked for forgiveness and he forgave me. The victim's family forgave me, and they saved me from a life sentence as well because they didn't believe that. They wanted me to be able to have a life when I came home, and just asked two things of me. They asked me to make better choices and decisions, and two, to find my higher power. That's what I did.
Where are you from? Are you from Virginia, Philly?
Yeah. I was born in Allentown, Pennsylvania, but I was raised here in Virginia.
Allentown. That's over where a couple federal prisons are at, right?
Yeah, it's literally 30 minutes outside of Philly.
So let's talk about this, right? Your life turns into drug addiction at some point. What was your life like growing up, man?
I mean, I had a good life. I had a hardworking mother. She worked sometimes 3 jobs at a time. I had a step pops. but he wasn't really the disciplinary type of guy. You know, he left that to my mom. So like I would, you know, get in trouble, whatever. He wouldn't discipline me. I sure wish he would have. You know, he talked to me. He taught me everything I need to know about working with my hands. Every type of tool, woodworking, electrical. He was just a beast at it, and he taught me everything. So I'm very thankful for him being in my life. I just wish he would have been a disciplinary in my life. You know, I wish he would have disciplined me more. You know.
Now, do you go to trial or do you plead out in this case?
I ended up ultimately pleading out. They offered me. I went to a plea hearing, and they had offered me like 60 years. I was like, nah, not doing it. So they reset my court date off. They come back, you know, sometime later. I don't know exactly how long. It was maybe a month or so, and offer me 40 years. I'm like, no, I'm not taking it. And so they reset my court date again. So they come back and offer me another plea. I'm like, no, I'm not taking it. So the prosecutor, her name was Hillia Cat. She went to my attorney and was like, ask your client what he'll take. So I thought about it. I said, I'll take 20 years. You tell her I'll take 20 years, a dub. That's what I'll do. And I'm good. So they came back and was like, prosecutor said no. She said, if I'll offer you 25 years, and if you don't take it, if you lose trial, then you're going to get a life sentence. So I sat back. I said, well, can I get a couple, like 24 hours to think about it? I got to call my family. So I went and called Mom Duke, told her the situation. She said, baby, you're young. You still got a whole life ahead of you. Do what's right. If I was you, I would take that. And I'm glad I took that, because I've seen guys do the same thing. They offer them pleas, they turn them down. They offer them pleas, they turn them down. They offer them pleas, they turn it down. They go to trial, and guess what? They got a 99, 98, 99, 99 release date. And I'm very thankful for that.
Was that a 25 to life or just a flat 25?
So flat 25, 85%. Man. I had to do 85%.
So tell the people, how much time did you actually do?
Just a little bit over 22 years.
So you go in, you get arrested at what, 23, 24, you said, right? And you come home at what, 46, 47?
45. 45.
Come home at 45 years old. But the reality is this, right, Woody? Tell the people, man. You missed the best years of your life, man. More than half of your 20s, all of your 30s, half of your 40s, and you come home to a different world, right?
Yeah, very different. You know, it was mind-blowing. When I got in out in the parking lot, my nephew Brandon had been out there, and he was waiting on me, man. I dropped my stuff, and I just gave him a hug and started crying, man. And I was like, man, it's over. Let's go. I got in the truck. I put my head down. I didn't even want to see leaving the prison. I just put my head down. I told him to tell me when we're on the main road and out of sight of the prison, and I'll look up. And yeah, it was wonderful, man. You know, technology is amazing.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you walk into this Florida state prison system. You're a young man, white kid. We're going to get into this stuff. I mean, are them Florida boys on the ass down there?
Yeah, man, they treacherous. It's very dangerous at times in Florida prison system. If you handle yourself in a low way, you know, if you show that you're weak, they're gonna prey on you. If you go in and you be yourself and you let them know that you're not gonna take any shit, you're gonna fight. I don't care who you are. Somebody's going to test you. Like I got tested on my first day at my first spread over the phone, and it's gonna happen. People are gonna test you to see where you at, regardless of the fact they're gonna test you, and that's what happened.
Got to meet aggression with aggression when you're in the jungle, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's definitely the trenches, man. You're in the trenches of Florida prison system, and it ain't just the other convicts and inmates. It's not, and I say convicts and inmates because there's a difference. You know what I'm talking about. But the officers are equally as bad, man. They're really, really, really savage as well. So you got to watch out for them.
We'll talk about that in a second. Your first day, someone presses you. What do they walk up and punch you in the face while you're on the phone?
No, I've been waiting on the phone, and So I finally get on the phone. Well, the way it is, you got these old T buildings. So each wing got a phone, 2 phones on the outside of their thing in the vestibule in front of the pod. So I get on the phone. I'm talking to my mom, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, a dude come around the corner like, yo, I'm on the phone. That's my phone right there. And he hangs the phone up. And that was it. I disragged him right there, like plain and simple. I mean, I literally disragged him. No questions asked. You hung up on my mom. And now I already been prepped. You know, I had did a little skid bid in Virginia DOC prior to that. Like I did like 18 months, 22 months, something like that back then. So I already know what prison is. You ain't going to fool me. I already know. I had a glimpse of it here in VA. But I had already been pressed. I had a homeboy I had met down there in Florida. His name was Chino. And he was like, look, when you go to the system, they go try you. If anybody tries you all rip, don't ask questions, just bump. You know, you might get your ass whipped, you might whoop somebody. He said, but handle your business because that's going to set precedence on you. People are watching you. People always prey on people that come in. You're going to see. They know you fresh in the system. Handle your business. And that's what I did. I ain't had no questions asked. I disragged them, and that was it. A few months later, me and homie, we become close friends. So
What about disragging someone? Tell them what it means, because some people are listening, right? And they're like, what does that mean, Belly? And the husband goes, I don't know, Sarah. So tell them.
disragging is I put the what's happening on. I beat the brakes off him. Like I did not stop. I just beat him until the police come and tackle me off because they don't ask you to get off people. They jump into.
More incidents after that?
Yeah, I've had several incidences in the state of Florida prison system. You know, I mean, I used to run a parlay, so you got your, people you got writing for you. You might have incidents like that, but yeah, I've been in several fights in Florida prison system.
You've been stabbed. I've seen some people with some dangerous weapons in there.
No, but I tell you what, I did tote a knife. I never stabbed anybody. I never had to stab any, but I've seen plenty of stabbers. I've seen police get stabbed. I've seen, multiple beatdowns, jumping. I've seen it all.
Let me ask you this: gang situations in Florida. When you went in there, were there any white gangs?
I want to say they didn't claim a gang, but you had like you had the Unforgiven down there. They were pretty close knit, but you had the Ostrich that portrayed themselves as not a gang but a religion. But it was basically all the white guys went down there. They stuck together. Me, I did my own thing. If I want to hang out with you and you're black, I'm gonna hang out with you. If you're Spanish, I'm gonna hang out with you. If you're white, I'm gonna hang out with you. I was not that dude that followed anybody. I was by myself, and that's how I stood my whole bid.
What was the worst thing you've seen happen in Florida? I want some young dude to hear about this. Some dude that's in Florida getting money, running around robbing people, doesn't realize what he's facing. He could end up killing someone during a robbery. I want him to know what could happen when he ends up in the Florida Department of Corrections.
The worst incident that I've seen in Florida by far, it was just, the first incident, solo incident, was I seen this guy, he was bugging out on his psych meds. He had declared a psych emergency. Now in Florida, you declare a psych emergency, they're supposed to put you in handcuffs, take you to medical. Well, the captain sent him back. So I'm sitting like half in, half out of my homeboy cell who's doing my legal work. He's doing my 3.850 motion, right? I seen this guy walk up. He was walking back and forth. The next thing you know, he climbs on the top of the railing and jumps off head first, and you heard it, I don't know. And he was all looking like Peter Griffin when he falls out. So I ran downstairs. I grabbed him and moved his head a little bit because he wasn't breathing. And Buddy lived though. That was one of the worst solo incidents. But as far as like violent activities ago, I seen the police get stabbed. I seen the police get stabbed in his neck. I've seen guys, get their neck stroked, $150s. I've seen all of that. I've seen dudes get $150s like several times for running their name off. It's been some dangerous incidents I've seen in Florida prison system.
You seen people just get punked, slapped on, punched on, get their shit stolen?
Yeah, Absolutely. I've seen people get their whole bed. Look, walk from the commissary line with a big bag if you want to. Walk around the corner, and next thing you know, they're laid out on the ground. They bags getting toted on. You know what I mean? I've seen that happen several times.
Happened to white dudes, black dudes, Hispanics, happens to everybody, right?
Happens to everybody. It doesn't matter. They don't discriminate down there like that.
Well, you said you did 10 years in Florida, right? And then what? What'd you do the rest of the time?
In Virginia Department of Corrections, I put in for an interstate compact to be close to my family. And I had to get a congressman up here to help me get back home because DOC was giving me the runaround. For 5 years, I tried getting home after mom got sick, and they were just giving me the runaround and wouldn't transfer me. So my homeboy, shout out to you, Dan Lonergan, he's serving a life sentence in Florida right now. They call him Dan Law. He wrote this letter for me, and I copied the letter, typed it up, and sent it to congressmen, senators, councilmen, and this congressman, Bobby Scott, responded back and said, I can help you get home.
Bobby Scott's a great dude, man.
Yeah, you've heard of him.
100%. He was pushing the 924C stacking. He was one of the architects on getting that stuff changed, and eventually Trump would change it. And that's, one of the reasons I ended up getting out on compassionate release. Love Bobby Scott.
Yeah, when I got home, I went and got a $50 gift card, dropped it off at his office with a card, and told him thank you for getting me home because he enabled me to spend the last 7 years with my mom before she passed.
That's what's up. I mean, when you leave Florida, though, how happy are you inside? Are you like, man, I'm finally out of here, man?
It was wonderful. And I'll tell you the incident. It's kind of funny. So they told me to go down to the classification department. So when I get in there, the police at the desk is like, I don't know who the hell you pissed off, but go down the hallway to the classification department. There's people down there waiting for you. So I get in them big multimedia meeting room and stuff. And there's a long table. There's like 15 people in this room. I'm looking around like, what's going on? I didn't know Bobby Scott pressed them like this. And they told me to sit down. So you trying to go back to Virginia, huh? I'm like, yeah, we need you to sign all this paperwork, right? And they're like shoving paperwork in front of me like they're mad. They're mad as hell. And so I don't even read it. I'm just signing. Everything that I see, it says Virginia on it. Virginia, I'm just signing medical records, release, all this stuff. I don't care what it says, bro. Like, I know you're supposed to read everything, but I was signing everything. I was scared, man. There was people in the Florida prison system, the officers and the administration, they're treacherous, bro. They're treacherous. I've seen some crazy things that they do to people. So I sign it, and boom, they take me to property, take my picture, tell me to go back, pack my bags. They send me to North Florida Reception Center. So I sit there from that day till Sunday when the extradition person come and got me. So I'm sitting there waiting to get transferred with my black box and all that stuff on. So the guy gets there, and he says, take all of your jewelry off him. So they're like, okay. He's got one pair of shackles on his neck like that. They said, where's your black box at? He's like, I don't need one. He's like, well, where's your partner at? He goes, in your lockbox outfit. He says, let me get my inmate. Let me get my inmate. And so they signed. He just puts the shackles on me. He's like, let's go. So they're expecting me to go through the Sally Fort way. He was like, nah, open this door. I'm parked over here. And there's a little parking lot on the side. So we go out there. He says, turn around and face that way. He's literally like this way. He goes in the box and gets this big ass gun and puts it on. He said, let's go. I was like, what? It was just him, me, my shackles, and his gun. That's it. He takes me to the van, and I get in the van, and we come back to Virginia. He says, I hate Florida.
Is this where you go to Virginia? I mean, where do you meet Jay at?
I went to Receiving. I met Jay when I got to Greensville. When I got to Greensville, they had put me after the orientation pod, they had put me in his building, but in 400 pod. 400 pod was gangland times 10. It's like where they put all the gang members, everybody that comes out the hole, you going in that pod. So I'm in the pod. I'm chilling though, right? I got a good celly, so Jay comes up one day to fix the neighbor's door. He's the maintenance guy. So him and I get talking, and he was like, we were talking, and I was like, yeah. I said, this pod's all right, but I really don't like it. I don't know nobody in here. He was like, well, hell, my cell's open. You want to come move in my cell with me? I said, you can make that happen? He said, absolutely. Give me your name and number. So I gave him my name and number. Next morning, they're calling me to the booth talking about pack your cell. You're going to 200 pod cell 19. That's when me and Jay was selling from then.
He was the maintenance man. He had some power. If they didn't have him, shit ain't getting fixed, right?
Listen, Jay had major power. Look, so they had the cable system at where we were at. They had these filters on the cable system. So Jay, being smart as hell, he was able to manipulate the filters so we could get Cinemax. Now, you know, Cinemax has got that soft porn late night, you know, and co-ed confidential, the whole nine. So, you know, Jay would go down there and undo the thing, and the whole compound got Cinemax. You know, Jay was a really strong individual. Jay was able to get you what you wanted, whatever you needed, steal whatever you want. Jay was the plug on that matter, but Jay was more than that. Jay became friends with everybody. You know, when I speak about Jay, that's like my brother, man. And people think that I'm clout chasing about the situation with him. I'm not. I'm doing it because I'm his friend. I'm his brother. Like, that's what someone's supposed to do, you know?
Jay's going to have an opportunity, I think, to kind of tell people his side right now. He's going to do it through your platform, right? Or he's supposed to.
Yeah, he's going to be doing it today. We're having a video visit, and he's going to put everything out there. He's going to straighten some things and get some facts out there. And he's anxious to do it.
And I think that he should, and I'm hopeful that he does. And, you know, he's going to, he's going to let people know. Anyway, man, how long were you guys sellies for?
For a little bit over 2 years, almost 2.5 years. He got transferred, and then when he was leaving to get transferred, he was like, "Let me get your info." I'm like, "Nah, bro, nah." He was like, "Why?" I was like, "Man, I get let down from so many people. I'm good." He's like, "I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. You're gonna hear from me again." And once again, I always think the worst. You know, I've already been promised from several people to hear from people to go home, and they forget about you. Well, Jay didn't forget about me.
Got out. Did he hit you up? Like, yo, bro, I'm home, man. What's up?
He didn't hit me up immediately. You know, he got himself together, which he should have, you know, and he got himself together. Once he got himself together, you know, we had these tablets in there. He hit me up on the kiosk, and, you know, he sent me some bread that day. You know, he's like, "I told you I was going to look out for you. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Here's my number. Call me if you ever need anything." He said, I'm in your corner, bro.
That's what's up. So anyway, look, man, I know you're out here. You know, you kind of gave us your perspective on what it's like in Florida and, you know, going to prison at a young age, man, drug addicted, but you turned your life around, man. What's going on in Woody's life right now?
Well, Woody's life is on the up and up. You know, I came home, you know, my mom left me a house when she passed away. So my ultimate goal was to remodel her whole house. I did that with the help of my supporters on my channel. They donated money to me, helped me redo my mom's house. I'm very grateful for that because I didn't have the money. You know, my mom wasn't a rich lady. I didn't get no life insurance policy with her. I got the house, and that's the blessing, you know, that I got from her. And so I get out, I'm running full force, man. I'm connecting with people. You know, I'm an artist. I like to paint. And eventually here soon, me and my homeboy are opening up an art studio. And that's where I'm at now, man, trying to, you know, be positive, give back, and show people that it's possible to come home after a large stretch and do the right thing. You know, we don't have to, you know, go back to our old ways. You know, we can live the way we're supposed to live and enjoy doing that.
And that's what you're supposed to do, man. You're supposed to come out here and live your best life. Live it for your mother. Your mother wanted the best for you. You made it out of prison. You could have been strapped to a gurney, putting, you know, some shit in your arms and taking your life. You could have possibly took your last breath in the Florida Department of Corrections. So you got a second chance at life, man. I want to see you do great things with it. But we're going to get ready to go. But I want you to tell people how they can find Woody, man. What's your YouTube channel? Give them a shout out. And I'm going to put all your links in the description. People want to check you out. They should check you out. And of course, you know, you'll have that video with Jay Williams. So that's something that I know a lot of people want to hear from him. And I believe there's always two sides to every story. You know what I mean? So hopefully he's able to get out his side of what happened.
Yeah, so y'all can hit me up at New Life with Woody on YouTube. Uh, Subscribe to my channel. Show me some love, man. Come over there and let's do this together. That's my mantra. Let's do this together. You know, I promised my mom one thing, you know, before she passed, that I would become the man that she always envisioned me to be. And I'm doing that. Y'all come over here and let's do this together, man. I appreciate you bringing me on your platform, be able to get this out. And there's a video dropping hopefully today with Jay Williams in his own words. He's going to be telling his story as much as he can and to quiet some of the people that are going sideways. So I appreciate everything, Chad, you've done for me. And yeah, we'll talk, man.
Definitely appreciate you. Anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, man. Free Jay Williams, man.
Listen, man, I hope that things work out for Jay, man. I think that he is a good dude. Sometimes, you know, and I said this the other day, you know, life stresses, things happen. And you know what, man? That doesn't define who we are, and it doesn't tell you what our character is, right? That one mistake, if it is a mistake or whatever he's got going on. But anyway, man, Blood on the Razor Wire TV, with respect until tomorrow, you know what it is. We're out.